Well, the main thing we try to get people to understand is the behavioral principles behind handling cattle. Cattle have a certain way they like to do things, and if we don't do it that way, we wind up getting in a fight with them. And so if we understand that cattle need to be able to see us, and then we understand that we're normally behind them, and the way we work cattle a lot of times, we can already start to see a problem arising. So we try to teach people to work more from the side of a cow where she can see you easier out of her eye. That's the way her eyes are designed. Then they're more willing to accept your pressure. And so by working from the front and drawing on that eye, then you reposition yourself where you can direct where they go. I always use the analogy that you can get cattle to go where you want to from behind, but it's kind of like driving a car from the back seat. You can get it done, but you're real busy. And the kind of the same thing on cattle. So we try to teach people to work more from the side, more from the front, and allow the cattle to be able to see you.
And it looked like when you moved forward with the cattle that it would either slow them down or stop them, and then by moving back against the grain you could speed them up or get them started again.
Absolutely, and that's why working from the front is so important. If you're behind cattle and you need them to go somewhere, you have to walk up their side, and that causes them to stop, and then you lose your motion and your momentum, and then you have to go restart it again. So if you're working more from the front and the side of those cattle, all you have to do is walk down their side to speed them up. And then the other trick is you don't want to turn around and come right back up their side, because that'll stop them. So you have to work kind of in triangles. You go down their side, get them started, walk out away from them, and then go back to the front and reposition yourself. And every set of cattle is different, and there's individuals within every set that's very different too. And so you kind of learn which ones you have to pay attention to. There's some cattle, even in this demonstration we did tonight, that were very different in behavior. So you had to pay attention to them, but you couldn't lose sight of the front of that herd. And so it's an interesting process, and particularly if you're working with someone, you have to be careful about too many people putting pressure on them at the same time. They don't know who to listen to, and they'll wind up coming out of it and coming over you if you're not careful, putting too much pressure. So working with somebody is actually a little more difficult than doing it by yourself.